Okay, here we go.
Music is so gorgeous and so cantabile and so broad and so lush and all the stuff that, you know, we all want.
It has a special allure for singers, the way it's written for the voice, the way these spectacular jumps to the high notes. It's so full of life and so true to the drama.
We're telling a story which has, you know, the names of real people, real characters, real locations, set in late 18th century France. We begin in a chateau of a very wealthy aristocratic family, cocooned from the outside world, and they're surrounded by the finest silver chandeliers. They've got the finest food, the finest furniture. They're not really aware of what's going on outside them. They live in their ivory tower, and we're about to see this family fall at the hands of the French Revolution.
The story is about the French Revolution. The part of the people is very, very strong. The feeling of rebellion is there. And through Andrea Chénier, we see this great thinker, this person who has ideals about humanity and how people should be treated.
He is very much aware of the problems that the poor people have. We see him the first time in first act entering a very glamorous party, and he's been asked just do some poetry for us, and like stand-up comedy of nowadays, and he just says he refuses. I can't. I don't have my inspiration, and then they're mocking him, and so he stands up and actually does a poem, but it's not one that they like, because it is criticizing the society.
The young Madeline that you see in Act I is a bit of a, bit of a spoiled brat in a way. But she's then meets Andrea Chénier. He's of course very beautiful, very handsome, but also he has an amazing passion to fight against injustice, and she falls in love with him because of it.
Carlo Girard is a servant at the palace where Maddalena lives as well, and is secretly in love with her. Of course, she falls in love with somebody else, that's Le Chénier. And, because of my feelings to her, I kind of respect that. So that triangle, three of us, Andrea, Carlo, and Maddalena, it's a love story from one side, and, the other story, revolution, from the other side.
And Bercy is the servant companion of Maddalena. She's a little bit more of a sister, but in any case, that's what she is. Gerard is very angry about the fact that his father, for example, has spent his entire life working for the Countess and is old now, and there are people in the streets who are hungry and who need help. And what we see from Bercy is that she's very much aligned with his sentiment, because she is a young woman who has had a different sort of life before she was brought into the house, Her mother was probably a slave, and perhaps her father a slave owner. So she had this very harsh reality, and then she was introduced to a very different sort of lifestyle. And so I would say that politically she's very much, in sync with the common people.
There's so many different emotions. There's so much happening in a couple of bars. Giordano is an absolutely phenomenal composer, and he writes so wonderful for the voice. It's refined, and it has these amazing melodies.
One of the features of this score is parody or a reworking of Rococo ideals. Think powdered wigs and the dance steps. This music denotes or underlines the aristocracy. When you compare that to the other music now, the servants' music, this music is much more Italian in character, with strong and poignant accents. So you have this amazing contrast, which Illica, the librettist, and Giordano wanted to right away put the audience in front of this imbalance, the haves and the have-nots, which then, of course, creates the terrain for the revolution.